Today we're going to be installing the Diode Dynamics 3-inch LED pod lights on my 2019 Subaru Crosstrek. These are the Pro Series. They also have the Sport Series, which is a cheaper version, and the Max, which is the top of the line. These ones are a combo flood and spot. And I got it in the kit for my Crosstrek, which also includes the mounting brackets and the light-duty 4-pin wiring harness. Let's go. We're going to start with the mounting brackets, which use the hardware that actually holds the hood up. So there's no additional hardware. All you need is a 12mm ratchet. And to start, we're going to use some masking tape to outline where the hood actually meets and lines up with the actual arm. Just so we line the hood up right. If you don't, it might not close properly. I already have it outlined with no eco soundproofing technically, but I'll still go ahead and do this as well. And now that we have the tape outline, we can go ahead and use a 12mm socket and take the nuts completely off. And when you take these nuts off, make sure you have your hood held up and hold this because it is a free joint and it will fly. So now that we have our nuts taken off, we will take our bracket, which has recessed areas for the nuts to fit into, and we'll slip the light mount under the hood, line up with the bolts, press it all flush, and then we can screw our nuts back on. Once you finish both mounts, it's recommended that you close your hood and ensure the latch still closes properly. And it does. And here we can see our finished mount. Nice and sleek, but also sturdy. So now go ahead and mount our light pod, and you will need a 1/2" or 13mm wrench, as well as a 4mm hex wrench. And the kit comes with a few things. It comes with the stock plug that the light pods use. If you want to wire it yourself, as the wires coming off of it. However, we're going to use their light harness that already comes with these made onto it, so we don't need that. However, it does come with our bracket and our hardware. First, we'll go ahead and mount our light pod onto the bracket itself with these two smaller nuts. Inside the housing, where we're going to screw it into, there's a slot where these nuts go into, and you can just drop them in. And they are the proper size to hold it taut, so you don't need a wrench or anything on the back. It holds itself. We take our mounting bracket and line it up how we want it in real life. And then we can take one of these smaller bolts with the smaller washer and simply mount it in. Do the same on this other side. We already have the nut. Take the bolt, small washer, so now we have the light onto the mount, albeit very loose. Next, we're going to actually mount it onto the bracket, and to do that, we'll take this larger bolt, feed it through, just like that. And then take a flat washer, a spring washer, and bolt. position our lights however we want. So for now, I'm just gonna put them forward and tighten mounting brackets here. Same on this other side. Then with our 1/2 inch or 13 mil, I'm going to tighten this nut on the bottom. For right now, I'm just going to leave it facing straight. That's good enough for me. Now we start wiring the lights, and with this light duty 4-pin wiring harness, you can see based off the diagram, it has these two same connectors for each light. It has a switch you can mount internally anywhere you'd like, and then positive and negative for the battery. My install is going to be a little bit different since I have a switch panel already installed. Wiring here's a mess. There's a lot going on with the winch and other stuff. I'm still a work in progress. But here I have an 8-gang switch panel, and the brackets are by SMK Fabrication. And on the inside of the vehicle, this is what the panel looks like. So I'm going to add another one probably right here for it. But anyways, this is what the engine compartment switch box looks like. You have cables going from the battery to it with a 60 amp fuse, as well as the 8 separate plugins. So here's where I'm at. I went ahead and plugged the connectors. It's just a plug and play into the back of each of these. And this kit comes with a ton of extra wire. All you'll ever need you could probably wire up a semi with this. And then here is the battery plug-in connectors. I cut off the actual connectors and plugged it into my switch panel here. And this does come with its own 15 amp fuse in here. However, the specifications say that even the max set of these lights, and I have the Pro, which draws even less, only draws up to 3 amps. So I went ahead and put it on one of my 5 amp fuses. If anything changes, I can always move it, change that one to match. Yeah, so I got the power plugged into my switch panel, which I'll put the dust cover back on. I've got the wiring leading up to the lights. And I have this 10-foot cord with the rocker switch on it for the backlight. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, I just tested this and it blew my 5 amp fuse. So I swapped the fuse to a 20 amp since the wire harness's fuse is 15. Put a 20 just that would rely on the factory wiring harness, and the 20 would just be an extra backup. I already have them roughly wired. So with the 3-position rocker switch, we have position 1, which is the backlight. I opted for orange backlight. This isn't very light, it's just a little backlight feature for visibility. And then position 2 is the high beams. Love it. I personally don't plan on using the backlight feature that much, or at least not wiring it yet. So I'm just going to secure the switch and all the wiring inside of here and leave it set to high beams. So when I turn the switch, it's high beams on or off. Alrighty, here's the final wire I have for now. I have from this light coming down and across, this light down and across, and I have most of the extra wires just kind of bundled up here, zip tied a ton, a bunch of the other wire harness in here, and I've got power cables going into the switch box here. And then for right now, I just have the switch bundled up in here. I don't plan on using it, or at least not wiring it into the cab yet. I might down the road, but for right now, I'm just leaving it there so it's high beams when I turn it on. And here's the finished product. We have both lights. The wire is not pinched or anything at all. There's plenty of room. The hood opens just fine. It doesn't hit the windshield, nothing like that. And yeah, I love it.